God created this beautiful thing called sexual intimacy where two spouses connect, create this beautiful passion together, express their love for one another, and create beautiful babies. But then we have these beautiful children, and somewhere along the way, this beautiful expression of love starts to feel like something that's dividing us rather than bringing us closer. Why does this happen? Because life gets busy, because the kids need us, because the house needs us, work needs us, our careers need us, we get touched out, we get stressed. And slowly we stop making our marriage the priority it needs to be. What once happened naturally now has to be intentional. And I want you, if you call yourself a godly person in a godly marriage, to stop and think, is this a gift from God for us to share with each other? And if it doesn't feel like that way right now, why? What is missing in your marriage? Where did the disconnect come from? Are you just making excuses to avoid something that God really wants for your marriage to have? When you marry, you're not only making promises to your spouse, you're actually making a covenant promise before God. So we have to be willing to honestly ask ourselves, am I neglecting something that God has asked me to nurture? Now, I'm not saying that marriage and life doesn't have difficult seasons where you're exhausted, struggling, or not always wanting sex doesn't mean you're always breaking some promise to God. Marriage involves grace, weakness, stress, parenting, and difficult seasons. I get that. But if we constantly neglect our spouse, stop nurturing our marriage, or treat it like it doesn't matter, we should be willing to look honestly at our hearts and ask whether we are living out the covenant that we made with each other and with God. I'm not talking about simply having sex. I'm talking about sexual intimacy. There is a massive difference we always talk about. I'm talking about the kind, loving, connecting, emotionally, physically, deeply, all the things. Scripture speaks about the mutual responsibility spouses have to each other in intimacy, but this is not coercion. This is not pressure. It's not using it as a weapon. Intimacy is meant to be loving and mutual expression within the marriage, like a gift, not pressure. If you love your kids and you want them to grow up with a healthy, loving foundation of a strong home, then sexual intimacy after emotional intimacy is very important, because your children are watching the relationship that becomes the blueprint for what love, marriage, connection, and commitment is going to look like for them. This is not a submission video. I have a lot to say about this. I just want couples to realize that God really wants your marriage to be intimate. He created that as a gift. And of course, this starts with the foundations of loyalty in every way, kindness, respect, safety, and love. Because intimacy is not supposed to divide couples. It was literally designed to bring you closer together as husband and wife.